Welcome to another reading of Voices of Gehenna. I am your narrator, Ak Moshe Ben Yahuda Yisrael, simply Ak Ben. Tonight, we are going to read Voices of Gehenna, Chapter 3. Let us continue the adventure of Benjamin Hill, who is a criminal psychologist working at Gehenna State Prison, which is a prison for supernatural entities, monsters, mythical creatures, beings of different mythologies. Stay tuned and enjoy the story. Disclaimer: this chapter includes thoughts of violence, adult-themed conversations, so if you have children, it'll be wise to get them in a room. You got to be over 18 plus to listen to this or read this. TMA. This is a work of fiction, fantasy, mythology. So if you get offended at certain things, the hard feelings, carry on. We all got things that make us tick in life. But all right, we're going to get into this. And like I said, after I finish reading this, I'm going to upload it to my channel on YouTube. That way, I'm going to premiere it first. I'm going to premiere it. After I finish doing this recording, I'm going to premiere it on my channel. So y'all stay tuned for that. But all right, family, let's get into it. Voices of Gehenna, Chapter 3. All right. All righty, family, let's do it. Voices of Gehenna, Chapter 3. Warden Jabril and I walked to the level 1 cells of the prison. We have spotted guards patrolling the area. Most of the guards on this level were Brogonites and a few humans. They all saluted the warden when he passed by them. The cells of this level had glass doors. The doors were enforced and warded by Fey magic. The warden and I walked a few cells down. We stopped at cell number 9 to look inside. The inmate was a creature I have never seen before. Its skin was hairless and green. It was like a cross between a chihuahua and a goblin. It stood about 5 feet tall and had a tail. The creature was skinny and had clawed hands and feet. His eyes were glowing yellow. This hairless and scaly bastard is known as a chupacabra. They are known to drink the blood of livestock and small pets. They are classified under the cryptid category. We caught him in the West Texas area. Warden Jabril explained. I looked at the chupacabra and it hissed at me. I always thought these things were a myth and some made up bullshit. Warden Jabril and I walked to cell number 15, and inside was a will-o-wisp. Will-o-wisps are known as ghost lights that could be seen in swamps, bogs, and forests. Some people associate them with elementals and fairies. The will-o-wisp was floating around in its cell. It was glowing blue. We continued to walk past a few cells. We stopped at cell number 20, and inside was a man that looked like a normal human. He was dressed in a red prison jumpsuit. Don't be fooled by his appearance, Mr. Hill. This is Herman Wright, a being known as a doppelganger. Herman has the ability to shapeshift into other satanic beings. Warden Jabril mentioned to me. Wow, you have a shapeshifter down here? So he could change into anyone he comes across, I asked. Pretty much. Herman has been a thorn in our side for at least a decade. We finally were able to catch him in Paris in 2011. He is a master thief and a trickster. and has stolen many priceless artifacts from museums. He made a killing on the black market, Warden Jabril answered. Herman Wright's current form was a Caucasian man. He stood at 5'8" and was built athletic. He came up to meet us at the door of his cell. His face was clean shaven and had a bald head. His eyes were blue. Greetings, Warden. When are you going to let me out of here? How about you let me work for you and I can earn my freedom, Herman suggests. Warden Jabril scoffed at Herman. Your flattery isn't going to reduce your sentence at Gehenna, Herman. I suggest you get used to living here. Gehenna is your new home for a very long time. Herman glanced at me for a moment. Who is this guy? This man is Benjamin Hill. He is a new hire, and his job is to interview certain inmates at Gehenna. I suggest you show him some respect or get more time added to your sentence, Warden Jabril suggested. Oh, come on, boss man. My sentence is 200 years. I don't need more time added to my sentence, Herman protests. Your kind is part of the fate and live for at least 200 to 300 years. You can handle the sentence, and besides, you have nothing to worry about. Our inmates at Gehenna are contained on a maximum level, meaning you are safe from others and others are safe from you. True, but most doppelgangers don't live a full life. Most of us don't even make it to our first century. We are the least trusted race because of our shape-shifting ability. Most societies view us as vermin. I don't let that stop me from being me, Herman said. Nice to meet you, Herman. I'm Benjamin Hill, but you could call me Benny, I said to the doppelganger inmate. He grinned and chuckled. Yeah, you seem like a laid-back kind of guy. Word of advice to you. Never turn your back on the inmates that you interview. They may do some weird and scary shit sometimes, but never show any fear to them. Also, treat them like a person and not like a monster, Herman advised. Thanks, Herman. I will try to remember the advice when I interview the inmates, I replied. We left Herman's cell and continued down the cell block. Truth be told, Herman seemed like a cool guy, minus him being a thief. I still wouldn't invite him over to my house. I might end up with a few items missing. I was getting my feet wet at Gehenna, and it was an eye-witnessing experience. The warden and I headed to the elevator to take to the level 2 area. Warden Jabril pressed the button, and the huge elevator began to move. Brace yourself for level 2, Mr. Hill. Down here we have some strong cryptids, beasts, and alpha human villains. I will take you to meet a few of them. Some of the inmates down here are potential candidates for an interview, Warden Jabril said. The elevator stopped on level 2, and we proceeded to the cell block. Some of the cells were like the ones on level 1. Some were reinforced with thick steel doors. I heard some of the creatures grunting and growling and moving around in their cells. The warden stopped and pointed to cell number 1. Inside was a Bigfoot-type creature known as a taku-hei. The creature had on a top hat with a brown trench coat. He was wearing prison uniform pants. This creature was intelligent. He tilted his top hat at me and gave me a wave. I see the hairy gentleman wants to greet you, the warden said. I slowly walked up to the cell. The hairy gentleman's fur was a brown color. His face was dark with yellow eyes. He had to be at least 7 to 8 feet tall. Good day to you, warden. Good day to you, sir, the creature said to us. Holy moly, that thing just spoke, I shouted while shocked. I thought these creatures were mindless brutes. Don't let his intelligence fool you. The hairy gentleman is a notorious savage. The taku-hei are known to rip the genitals from local cattle. They also love to rip apart human hunters that come near their territory. Their kind is usually found in South Dakota. The Harry gentleman has killed countless cattle and murdered over 15 people around his territory. Believe it or not, when we caught him, he surrendered to our agents without a fight, the warden explained. Don't worry, human. I won't rip your love muscle off. You will need it someday to create little humans, but first you have to find a mate, the Harry gentleman said to me. I was astonished at his comment, and the warden wasn't surprised at all. He shook his head and scoffed at the Harry gentleman. I'm not ready to start a family yet, and besides, I have to focus on surviving down here, I said to him nervously. Ha 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 ha, you're a good human. Hey, Warden Jabril, I want to be interviewed by this human, the Harry gentleman requested. That's not your decision to make, creature. I'm in charge here and set up the interviews for Mr. Hill. Even if Mr. Hill wants to interview you willfully, he still has to get my approval, Warden Jabril said with authority. The Harry gentleman grunted and tilted his hat to us again. If he decides to interview me, make sure to serve some tea for us. I love to drink tea. Sasquatches brews some of the best tea in the world. Hold up a second. Did you just say that your kind knows how to make tea? I asked the Harry gentleman. Yeah, puny human. My kind aren't dumb brutes like your media and news stories tell you. My kind is more than meets the eye. If you decide to interview me, I'll give you all the answers you need. That's up to me to decide, the warden cut in. I'm glad, because I don't want to be placed in a cell with that monster. I don't want to be eaten or ripped apart, I said to the warden. We decided to leave cell 1, and the warden instructs me to follow him. We stopped at cell number 13, and inside was a werewolf-type creature. I read the cell information, and it said Hellhound Hilly. Hellhound Hilly was a creature known as a dog man. Dogmen are humanoid canine creatures that can be spotted in the deep woods. Hellhound Hilly was unique from the rest of his kind. He has the ability to control hellfire, which makes him a dangerous monster. He resembled a 7-foot tall, upright Belgian shepherd. His fur was brown and black. His eyes were brown, but when his powers are activated, they glow red. He ran up to the cell door on all fours and started sniffing. Woof! He barked. I jumped away from the cell door and started to tremble. The warden was calm and collected. Hellhound Hilly grinned at me, showing his sharp canines. This thing looked like he stepped out of the pits of hell. Woof! Welcome to Gehenna, pussy! Hilly taunted me. The warden pulled out a huge revolver from his suit jacket. The gun was gold and white. I have never seen a gun crafted like that before. Be a good boy, Hilly. I don't want to have to put you down, Warden Jabril said while pointing the gun at Hilly's cell door. Hellhound Hilly backed away from the door. The warden puts his gun back in the holster. Mr. Hill, I sure hope you don't piss your pants on the first day on the job. The last few employees that had your job either piss, shit, or vomit on the first day, Warden Jabril admitted. I wanted to. By the way he sounded when he barked. The sound of his bark had the bones in my body shivering. The hair on my neck stood up, I replied to the warden. This is just level 2, and you are showing fear. Don't be so tense, Mr. Hill. Hellhound Hilly is a small threat compared to what's down in the deeper levels of Gehenna. Try to stay frosted on our tour. We'll try, Warden Jabril, I replied, while wiping the sweat off my face. All right, let's go meet a female inmate this time. Let's go meet us a witch, the warden said while walking forward. We walked to cell number 18, and inside was a young woman. She looked like she was in her late teens or early 20s. She was wearing the red prison uniform. She was a light-skinned African-American woman with afro puffs. She was sitting on her cell bed with her arms crossed. Mr. Hill, meet Kanisha Jones. Mr. Hill, meet Kanisha Jones, aka Bojinka. Bojinka is a natural-born witch from the Purple Crescent Coven. She may look like a puny teenage girl, but she's a force to be reckoned with. Her coven specializes in hexes, healing, and using elementals to aid them in battle. Bojinka has control over a few elemental beings, Warden Jabril explained. The petite teen witch stood up and stared at me. Her face looked so innocent and soft. Looks can be deceiving, because a witch is still a witch. She was reading my energy and knew I was nervous. She chuckled and smiled at me. Hey, mister, don't be afraid of me. You should be used to soups by now. Most soups are common in society now. Vampires, nocturnes, witches, werewolves, and warlocks hold certain places in the world. Truly, people will still label us monsters, demons, and children of the devil, but we are still people. Soups have free will, just like any other being in the universe. Some of us want to live in peace with humans and other non-human races. Bojinka protests. What's a soup? I asked Bojinka. Duh, it's short for supernaturals. Seriously, you need to catch up on your slang, Bojinka joked. Well, excuse me, missy. I'm not the one to keep up with all the modern day lingo, I replied. Don't be so serious, mister. I was just joking. Don't be all moody like a disgruntled old man, Bojinka joked. Hey, I'm not that old. I'm 30 years old and still in the prime of my youth, I replied to her. She chuckled at me. Yeah, that's old, and most of my peers will agree with me. Another 10 years, another 10 more years, and it will be over the hill for you. You're just a child yourself. What makes you think that I am old? Yeah, I have a beard, and my hair is clean cut. I may not be built athletic, but I can still get around. Child, you have a lot to learn about life. Which or not which. Life isn't a joke, girl. I ran into Bojinka. Are y'all two done yet? The warden asked. Both of y'all are quarreling like a father and daughter. I kind of find it quite funny. Technically, he's old enough to be my daddy, Bojinka said with a smirk on her face. Hey, stop it with the old man jokes. I wouldn't want a witch for a daughter. She might burn my house down if I don't get her what she wants for her birthday. I ran it. That's enough, Bojinka. I don't want you raising Mr. Hill's blood pressure, Warden Jabril said. All right, Warden Jabril, I will stop joking for now. I can't wait to see you again, Mr. Hill, or should I say, Daddy? Damn, this witch doesn't know when to stop, I griped. The warden stared intensely at Bojinka. His golden eyes was glowing with a stern look. The witch girl fell to the floor and couldn't move. She was struggling to get up but failed at every attempt. Make it stop, Warden! Make it stop! She yelled. The warden stopped and crossed his arms. I was terrified at what I just witnessed. I had witnessed something like this before in a popular anime I watched. It was like the warden was raising his spiritual energy or aura. Bojinka couldn't handle the pressure of the warden's aura. Be a good girl, Bojinka. I don't want to have to use my holy aura on you again, Warden Jabril demanded with authority. What is the holy aura, mine, I asked? The Malekith race has angel blood in our veins, and we are blessed with some of their abilities. The holy aura technique is used to raise our energy to subdue our enemies. It will only work on weaker beings, though. Warden Jabril answered with confidence. So you are really a celestial being? I asked. Yeah, a kind of celestial beings with free will. We live just like normal people in certain realms. Bojinka got up and sat on her bed and started reading a book. She was reading a book on healing and medicinal herbs. We left her to her business and continued our journey on level 2. We next stopped at cell 21, and the inmate inside was a woman. She was doing some push-ups. She was a warrior indeed by how disciplined she was doing her exercise. Her skin was dark brown and her hair was black and styled into cornrows. This inmate is Anastasia Abrams, known as Fireflower. She's half Nuba elf and half a freak. She has the power to manipulate fire. We assume she gets this power from her father, who is a jinn of the Ifrit type, Warden Jabril mentioned. Holy friggin' moly! What made a elf decide to have a child with a jinn? This is some strange shit I'm getting into. I'm going to need a drink after work, I said while staring at Anastasia Abrams. It's a dangerous combination. The jinn are powerful magical beings, and elves are blessed with magic in their DNA. Anastasia is a walking forest fire. Anastasia is a walking forest wildfire that would give Smokey the Bear nightmares, the warden admitted. Do y'all have an inmate that's a jinn? I asked the warden. Yes, we do have a jinn inmate. He's on level 3, and you will meet him soon. Anastasia stopped doing her workout and noticed me staring at her. She stood at 5'10" and was in top shape. She was wearing a white tank top and red prison pants. I noticed on her right arm she had a tattoo of a burning bush, and over the bush was a flaming arrow shooting up. On her left forearm, she had a magical lamp tattoo with flames coming out. This woman was not to be fucked with. She stares at me with a mean mug. The warden wasn't scared at all. She cracked her neck and started walking to the front of her cell. What's up, warden? Who's this chump? Anastasia asked while frowning at me. This man is Mr. Benjamin Hill. He will be our new inmate interviewer. Show some respect to your betters. She spits on the floor of her cell. How about you let me join the IFIB so I could get out of this shithole? You know what I'm capable of, and besides, the FIB doesn't have no jinn working for them. I'm the closest thing you will ever get. Nice try, Anastasia, but it would be a cold day in hell before I let you work for us. The elves of the IFIB will see you as an abomination. Most of them spit on your mother's name, the warden admitted. Fuck them uptight assholes. Elves are insecure beings when it comes to who they are fucking or marrying. This is fucking 2022. And I say let a elven man or woman date, fuck, and marry who they want to, Anastasia ran it. Are you part elf though? I asked her while shaking. I didn't ask for your fucking opinion, pissy pants, she barked. So what if I'm half elf? It doesn't change who I am. I am a strong woman, and I will not back down from a challenge. My mother's side of the family deemed me a curse and shunned my mother. The jinn blood that flows in my veins is a blessing and gift from my father, Anastasia said proudly. You sure do have a potty mouth on you. With that attitude, I will mistake you for an half-orc. I joked at her. Whatever, pissy pants. I didn't piss my pants yet. How do you like them apples? I replied. Your ass sure was scared when Hellhound Hilly barked at you. I wish I could see the look on your face. I will roast you for months with jokes, she taunted. Well, next time it won't be Well, next time I won't be scared. I admit he caught me off guard. The bark wasn't worse. The bark wasn't the worst. It was when that thing spoke, I replied to her. Hey, new guy, come over here and see me. A voice from the next cell door shouted. I glanced at the warden and he nodded with approval. I walked to cell 22 and inside was this strange looking entity. He had a body like a person, but his head was a light bulb. He was dressed in the red GSP uniform, and the skin on his body was a gray color. I didn't know what to call him. For now, I would just call him Light Bulb Head. The light on his head was shining bright when I looked at him. Greetings, Mr. Hill. Don't be terrified of me. I'm not the ugliest thing they have down here. Truth be told, I am a handsome fellow, and the female guards find me fascinating, if you know what I mean, the light bulb entity boasted. I grimaced at his comment about women for a second. Just what in the hell are you? I asked the entity. The bulb on his head flashed twice. Let's just say I'm a unique person. Just call my kind the bulb folk or light-haired people. Our bodies are humanoid and electronic. We can reproduce like humans do, if you know what I mean, the entity replied. Do you have a name? I asked him. Yeah, I do have a name, Mr. Hill. I go by Prince William Shinefort V. I am royalty among my people and was framed by my family. One day I will get them bastards back for what they did to me. You are a strange man indeed. Nice to meet you, Prince William Shinefort V. I replied to the entity known as a bulb folk. Warden Jabril came to Prince Shinefort's cell. The light bulb on his head shined brighter this time. The warden wasn't irritated by the light at all. Ah, it's good to see you again, Warden Jabril. Change your mind about letting me join the tech department of the prison yet? Nice try, Shinefort. You're better off in that cell. I can't have you around that area. The tech department has many women working there. You might get too flirty with them. I had to fire 3 female guards over the past 4 months. Somehow you wooed them into screwing the light bulb. On. No pun intended, Warden Jabril mentioned. Prince Shinefort V chuckled. Inside the center of the light, a face was seen grinning. The face appeared to be human. Actually, they were the ones who came on to me. Most humans are curious beings when it comes to sex. All over the realms of existence, humans have a rep for screwing everything that could breathe and walk on 2 legs or more, Prince Shinefort V mentioned. I had a puzzled look on my face. You had sex with a human woman that works here? The face inside the light bulb winked and grinned at me. The 3 guards that were fired were 2 human women and a half-orc woman. Beggars can't be choosers when it comes to getting your rocks off in here. Even the strongest and weirdest of entities need their release. Judging by your energy, I say you need some release yourself. I had an embarrassing look on my face. I'm not into men, and I'm definitely not trying to find out how it feels to screw a light bulb. No pun intended. Well, that's good to hear, Mr. Hill. I'm a certified ladies' man, and there are many women out there seeking to be enlightened, he replied with a smirk. Hey, knock it off, light bulb head, Anastasia yelled inside her cell. Don't be such a hothead fire flower. This bulb can handle the flower in your passion region, Prince Shinefort V taunted. When I say bulb, I mean the bulb in my pants. Fuck you, she barked. Try that, and it will be your last day on Earth Realm, light bulb head. Ouch. Ouch. It seems even the prince could be rejected too, I said. You couldn't handle fire flower anyway. She's part Ifrit, and her flames will crack your bulb. I suggest you stop with the perversion, light bulb head. You don't want to face my wrath, the warden suggested. All right, sir. No more lewd jokes. I don't want to find out why most beings call you the celestial devil or the demon of righteous indignation. Lightbulb Head responded. Good then. Now we have an understanding, the warden replied. On the intercom, August's voice could have been heard. Mr. Hill, your ID and key card are ready to pick up. Report to the warden's office ASAP. Warden Jabril formed a beam of light out of nowhere. Warden Jabril formed a beam of light out of nowhere. It was like he opened a portal. He signaled me to follow him through the light portal. I followed him through and we were transported to his office. I felt relieved to be back in his office. I think I had enough of meeting monsters for the day. August Daisy Wynn greeted the both of us with a smile. She handed me my ID and key card. Make sure you don't lose these tools. Your ID and key card are proof of your employment here. You will need to present these to other agencies out there. For example, agencies like the Non-Human Agency or the NHA, the Hunters Guilds of the World, and the Tri-Fist Alliance. August Daisy Wynn explained to me. Thank you, Miss Daisy Wynn. I will do my best to hold on to these tools, I replied to her. Mr. Hill, it's 1 p.m. in the afternoon. I think it's time for you to take a lunch break. Take a 1 hour's lunch and report back to your workstation. Go over the inmates' dossiers at your desk. Select 3 inmates you would like to interview tomorrow. Bring them to my office and I will review them. You must have my approval before you interview the prisoners of GSP, Warden Jabril instructed. I did what I was told and headed to the lunchroom. Truth be told, all this walking around and meeting co-workers and inmates sure did had me hungry. All right, family, that was chapter 3. Man, this was a wild chapter. Like I said, you had adult situation jokes. Let me know what y'all think about the inmates that Benjamin met. So far, we have Anastasia Abrams, Bojinka, the teenage witch. We got Prince Shineforth the Fifth, which is a light bulb entity, basically like a humanoid creature with a light bulb head. Now, the inspiration I got for the bulb folk was off of the comic book saga. Like, because you had like the robot people in the comic book saga, and they had like TVs for their head. So I said, let me come up with an idea like this. So I said, I'm gonna come up with like some light bulb beings. Basically like light bulb people, basically, they humanoid and electronic, And yeah, I got that idea and I got that inspiration off of saga, the comic book saga. Because like I said, when you writing, you're going to be inspired by something. No matter what you writing, drawing, you're going to be inspired by something that you watched or read before. But yeah, so far I'm liking the inmates that I have. You had Hellhound Hilly, which is a dog man creature. Man, Hellhound Hilly, he scared the hell out of Benjamin. And you had a doppelganger, Herman Wright, the doppelganger master thief. So you have some interesting characters so far. So let me know what y'all think, family. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe. Y'all entitled to your opinions. Like I said, this is a work of fiction, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, and I'll catch y'all on the next one, family. Let me know what y'all think, because I enjoyed this chapter. Let me know what y'all think, fam. I'm gonna go ahead and premiere this on my YouTube channel. Y'all stay tuned.